Hey everybody, this is Asher back with more Dyson Sphere Program, where today we are going to be doing quite a few bits of errands here. The biggest goal by far is to get some of these small carrier rockets up into the air. And we have most of our production starting here. We did finish last stream with a speed run here to solve some of our power problems, which is kind of important because they did the developer recently released a hotfix patch that actually kind of broke a few other things. It's not affecting the power consumption here too much, but this is kind of during that window. So a few things we've got to do. Obviously, we've got to end up getting more magnets, more of this stuff started and together. Like, I have a lot of things producing magnets right now, but that's not a ton of ore for all the things that are coming out here, but we're keeping up with it. We're going to need to increase our magnet ring production so that we can actually get all of these things through, because right now we're not using all of these, but we can kind of just put them somewhere else, and so we are hitting enough. Right now my only goal is to get the deuterium rods going so that we can get our power consumption going. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually a little bit different than I expected, because we are going to run into a few science lurches here, and we can see our deuterium rods, for some reason these have no fuel. I guess they're not really feeding right away. Ooh, I need to get snacks from the home plant as well, so we can 2-for-1 this for a second. Let's go here, because I'm still having purple science problems, and I know I said last time that I don't really care as much about it because I'm going to be ending up having to build a Dyson Sphere. I can't talk. A Dyson Sphere anyway. It's going to take a little while, but I kind of lied because I still want the research to be going. There's a lot of things that eventually, while I'm waiting for stuff to be finished building, will involve universe matrices, and those would be nice to have. So let's go here. Because one thing that we need, strangely enough, we sorted out our titanium problems before, but we need to send some of the silicon from this planet back to our home base. Now, hopefully I can do that just by way of maybe like these 3 veins right here and smelt a shit ton of stuff and ship them back on one of the on one of the things. Because I do have a few places where we have like warp belts available and stuff. And let's see, for some reason we're a little short on those crystals, it's fine. But see, we don't have a lot of plates here. And we have remote supply local demand. So this remote supply, if we move this up a little bit, what this may end up doing here is, well, I have 2 ways to do this. I can have this supply my planets, or I can have this supply other things. I think if I put everything through here, and I put some space warpers on the other side of it, that could work. Or I could just do a whole different tower and have it be able to put some silicon out. That might be better, to be honest. Like, we have this that's importing silicon right now from our home planet, and that's what's killing my silicon supply right now on my home planet. It's not too bad. And how many? We only have 1 tall tower, so we can make this work. Alright, so first things first, let's find resources on other planets and mine the crap out of them. Like, there is, if I look at the map here real quick, 11 million things of silicon, and we'll be mining those way more efficiently here, just because we've been actually paying attention to the ore grabbing tech. I can't get all of these, but I can get enough of them. Let's put a big power block here. I guess right there. Same thing over here for the miners. That's not a miner. Ooh, you know what? I do actually need to get water supplied as well. So we can use this logistics tower to go ahead and grab some water to ship across the system, because that's the only place we're going to be demanding it. So 2-for-1. I did not do any like pre-look rough draft saves or anything on this, so this is all me winging it right now, which maybe I do some of my best work while winging it, maybe I don't know for sure, but we are going to need some water here. So let's go ahead and put this down here. And how's the power draw doing on this planet specifically? Not awful. Could be better, could be worse. Alright, so there's this. And we have a ton of oil here. We actually have a whole nother set of silicon veins. But I think 2.5 million worth of smelters is probably going to be enough. I actually don't have a lot of belts to make this work right now. So we're going to try to bullshit this as best we can. See how this goes. Like, ideally what I'd be doing is passing this along multiple ways, but as long as I'm supplying silicon in a long line of belts, I can always fix some of this early and do the rest of it later. So I have 180 belts. I have some upgraded belts I can use as well. It may be more important for me to just go ahead and work with what I've got. Alright, so if I put a logistics tower over here, let's go ahead and just pull this line over here pretty hard. And we can like move this power thing over just so it's not in the way. Or just so it's being used a little more efficiently. See, that's one reason I made a bunch of these. Is that we can just do all this. So, smelt, smelt, smelt. And all we're doing is just making silicon bars. A lot of them. Because that's part of the joy of building up. Oh, we actually need foundation support. I don't have a lot of foundation. Oh.
Insufficient required items.
Huh.
You can click the replicator button at the bottom right of the screen.
All right.
Open the panel and manually replicate these items.
Okay. There we go. It's like if I keep hitting it, will it eventually work? The answer is no. No, it will not work. All right. So if we're trying to save our amount of treads here, we can put these over here. Ooh. Put you all over here. Put a big tower right here. And then technically I don't need to power this tower right now, but we're going to. I'm not the only person that's complaining about that, by the way, so that's good to know. So, remote supply, local supply. We are also going to remote storage, local demand. We're just going to do 100 of these, because that's all we're going to really need. We have enough transport shuttles to do this. And we're not going to put any drones. So we're just going to put, I think remote supply and local storage is pretty safe for that. Okay. So once again with these things, we actually need to run them out with belts. It's slightly inconsistent compared to what we've done before, but this water is needed for actually doing our one of our final bits of production. So that's good. And look at this, we are going to have just enough belts. Alright, cool. Look at that splitter. So exciting. It's a non-splitter splitter, and I can make this line a lot longer. We're getting this party started before I run out of snacks, because if we can supply a bunch of silicon back to the home base from here, where we have way more silicon than our home system, which has a planet with about 200,000 and a planet with 2 million that we're already mining all the nodes on. That's the thing. I was thinking about, hey, why don't I just do this at home? But we're using some of that for processor production. And then we're doing some of this with, well, I don't even know the words I'm looking for. But we are sending plates home otherwise. But this is a start. That's all I'm really asking for at this point is a start. We'll just put a Little power line here. And Dyson Sphere. We're producing a lot of sales. That's great, because we're going to need some sales. Alright, so snack time. Look at us. We're having the snacking right now. I have a lot of magnets in my inventory. Hopefully I'll be able to dump them in just a minute. I probably should have put them in a box. But how many plates are we producing now? We're actually consuming a lot. That's the Capitari system, though. So our production is like 36, 37. That's going to go up because this makes 30 per minute. Hey, Chris Carl, or Clar, I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to get a little bit of this in because I'm not going to have time to stream later tonight. And I've got a little bit of window of time during work where I can at least kind of get enough of a stream in to hopefully get some rockets up and going. But let's see if we can follow. There's once again our pew 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 from our ice planet here. Just looks super cool. But where's our home planet? Usually we can just follow the direction of the logistics ships to find it. There it is. All right. So here we go. So I need to pick up deuterium rods from the home base. I may need to end up producing more deuterium as well. I don't know. We'll see kind of how this goes. But I hope you're doing good. Clar, Chris, 11. Terrible with calling people the name they want to be called, so I apologize about that. But getting this silicon stuff straightened out will also help a lot of production lines over here as well, because we have a lot of silicon pending. And I think I just passed by where I wanted to fly to, so that's amateur hour, but we can just accelerate here and have a good time. So we got a bunch of space warpers, we got a bunch of assemblers, we got a bunch of smelters and miners. We still got some more vertical launching silos. Got so many of those. Got some unipolar magnets we're just hanging on to, but we'll be able to dump them. And fly a little faster. I'm so used to just clicking warp everywhere that this all feels a little slow. Alright. Of course, I say it's a little slow and I'm about to miss my planet. You know, if I still have some gas towers in my inventory, and I don't, but I might want to go ahead and just grab those so that I can get things started. So here's the home planet again. I don't have a lot I want to build left here. But let's see, how are we doing on silicon? We have none in here right now. So that's holding us back just a little bit. Now, which is our station that's demanding silicon? This is remote demand. Okay. And we can demand from up to 7 light years away, which is good. Now, these vessels won't go all the way out there because they don't have any space warpers. And I'm not really in a position to change that, but the other logistics vessels, once they get space warpers or whatever you call them in there, then they'll be good. How are we doing on this stuff here? We still have a massive surplus of warpers, so that's great. So that means our green science production's going very well, and we have an excess of a lot of things right now. If anything, we're a little low on these crystals, but we can mine some more of those. That's not an issue. Alright, so deuterium rods. We go to the snack station. We're gonna need to be here for a while. And we're a little short on titanium alloy. Probably because it's going everywhere else. Okay, we don't need any more railguns. We don't need too much of this. We could grab a few of those, but I don't need them yet. But at least they are here. Because I've already plopped a bunch of the ray receivers down everywhere. We don't really need more power stations too badly, so I'll just take the excess that we have here. Because eventually we're going to be running it through Dyson Spheres. Now this needs these little power poles to produce passively. I did that on purpose, so Okay, and that's plastic and organic crystals. I love just the little things that I've left behind someplace to be like, whoops, drop this down. Alright, so. Are we going to need more drones? Probably not. Are we going to need more little towers? Probably not. Are we going to need some bigger towers? Yeah, I think so. Are we going to need some of these? I'll grab a 10-pack. But I don't think we need to build any more of these right now. So we have 250 of these super magnetic rings just sitting here. Alright, well. They're not. It's not like they're going anywhere. We do need a few more carriers, though, I think. Yeah, we need some more carriers. Alright. So that'll be fine. I think we're mostly good here, other than I do want to set up this with the larger power, the floaty power things. I should learn what they're actually called. With the satellite substations, we don't need too much, but we still need something. I just need to see where I'm actually building them at. Okay. So these go here. And we take 50 of them. And it takes how many to build a substation? Just one. Okay. So that's good. But see, all these places are holding these things, and now we'll give this some time to bake real quick while we finish ringing our gas giant with even more planetary logistics things. Because see, we already have a lot. I have most of the planet covered here. Could actually probably fly around a little faster if I go this way. Okay, there we go. Boop. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not totally miss the boat now. Alright. So there's home sweet home again. Right there's too close. And these can only be built on the equator. And of course now we're doing some good old nighttime building again. But I think 10's going to be enough. And if for some reason I find another gas giant where I want to pull more from, then we can do it that way, but we've just about ringed the entire planet. We may be one or two short. But maybe not. Look, I can see the other end. We have like a full-on collection station. I'm actually gonna be one short. Oh no, I'm not. It's not even one short. I actually did it. I ringed the whole planet. Look, I made it! Yeah, gas giants spin really fast. I think this is a nice reflection of that. We just gotta wait for one construction drone to do that, and we are done with production here. So the production for this local planet. So in full, we're gonna get 250 deuterium per minute, and oh, that's a shit ton of hydrogen. But we are gonna be drinking that hydrogen for days, so that's fine. And you see, we're still running a little bit out of this research, and that's mostly a silicon blockage. But we're pretty good there. Okay. So back to the home planet so we can get a few more fly power things. And then we're going to work on building some rockets. And then we're going to work on shipping those rockets to another planet. So, ta-da! Actually, I'm really glad I came back here because I need belts too. Also really glad that I don't do damage to my infrastructure by crashing into it. Alright, so how many assemblers do I have? Is 200 enough? It might not be. What are we short on? We're short on graphene? Are you serious? Is this because I never connected this back? Oh, this does this sometimes. Alright. That's just buggy. But that's early access things. So ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. There. Back to graphene. We're gonna need all these belts. We're actually officially out of iron here now, so bye-bye. If we can actually demand some iron plate, some iron ore here, then I could always run that kind of from here. Problem is, I don't think I have anybody supplying iron ore here yet, but we'll figure that out in the future, because right now, this is one of our primary areas for producing magnets. So, I don't even know if I have any ore veins that are untapped. Not on this planet. I'm pretty sure I've gotten every single iron that's on here. Which is a sign of a game well spent. Alright. There's one. How many drones do you have? I need 23. Good enough. And then after this, we should be able to pick up our little fly science things and do the next thing. So, baby tower. Baby tower says wah. Now we are going to need to power this with like just anything really. But since all we're doing is collecting ore, I guess there's not too much to worry about. So do this the lazy way. Okay. Is there a reason this isn't connected right now? Huh. Huh. Somehow that was just barely not close enough. But yeah, the bug that's currently, at least according to the developers, is something like if you upgrade your facilities, they will keep drawing power from both what they're upgraded to and what they're upgraded from. So that's a little bit of a problem, to be honest, but let's see, we're filling this up. Do we have any drones coming to get it, though? Oh, no, we don't, because we did not set the other one to demand. Alright, well, that's not a ton of iron, but it's enough to get us going. We don't have to, like, bullshit this for later. Okay. So, iron demand. We can put you up to 1400's fine. Then we can even upgrade these belts. Okay, happy auto-saving is fun. And we can even do this as well. Just get a little bit more magnet production out here. Like, I don't want any shortfalls for stuff that might already be behind. Alright, even though we have the old smelters here. And we have a ton of magnets coming in from over here too, so maybe that wasn't as big of a concern, but at least we have iron moving now. So that'll be in here very shortly. You're actually not spitting out iron like you're supposed to, so let's change that. There we go. Cool. Alright, errand's done. Except these these mid-tier belts. Where's my 2 belts at? So there's my 2 belts. There's my 1 belts. Those are all still need to be produced to go through the production chain. And how many grabbers do I have? 302. We are going to be doing some heavy clicking, so we need more than that. Alright. I think we're all set, but to be honest, if it is something I screw up, then I can always come back here later. It's not that difficult. Alright, how many more of you do we have? 40. Excellent. Alright, and look at this technology here. 15 minutes, and then we got to do 2 more rounds of that. What do I want to upgrade after this? I think most everything that I can do is going to start involving universe boxes. I do kind of want to upgrade my inventory. Okay. No, that's good to know. I don't really care about mecha move speed, and we can't unlock much more of that or this until universe matrices. Solar sail life is probably good to get. Solar ray dissipation, probably good to get. Logistics carriers, probably good to get. Veins utilization, that's our infinite upgrade. And then maybe through all this we can start working towards universe matrices. We'll see where that goes. So our queue's full right now, that's fine. Alright. So we've got our research task for years now. But it's fine, we're a robot. Let's see. Where are we flying today? There we go. Once again, follow the bouncing logistics vessels. They will never lead you astray. Except for the times where they absolutely do. But it is so nice to have this much of a power core that it does take a little while to recharge, but we're not like in dire straits or anything. But once we get our silicon going kind of between planets, hopefully we'll have less and less stoppages like that. So you want to go to 3. Because it's time for us to get building, so we pass by our star. Like, it's just so fascinating to me how spread out the star system is. Usually, even in Dyson Sphere Program, these systems aren't as spread out. How's our power draw? We're producing plenty of iron. We got all this stuff. Okay, cool. So we're attempting to... Wow. We have a bunch of these. Halfway wonder if I could send some of those back for purple science, but I'm going to need them. I'm going to need them for so many other things. We are not doing that. Alright. So all you guys right here, what are you short on right now? You're short on sales. Why are you short on sales? Well, our sale production's over here. We had a bunch for a while. Are we just busy shooting sales into space? Or are we missing something? Looks like we're missing these. And the reason we are missing these is it because we're short on glass. Am I even producing those on this planet? Because if there's stone, and there should be, if there's stone, iron, and copper, I can do that on this planet right here, right now. And I think that's a good idea. Alright. Now, I did bury some stone up here for production purposes. But we'll use some stone that's a little bit further away. Alright, but not that far away. And this is all kind of part of it. Just sometimes you have to deal with the smaller logistics to make the bigger logistics work. So once we get our solar sail production back online, so we're not going to do our fancy recipe here. We're just going to do 2 prisms. And we make prisms and assemblers with 3 glass. So that's easy because we smelt glass in smelters. And we're gonna need a lot of glass. Like, just in general. Titanium glass also takes glass, so I'm gonna need to set this up anyway. Like, I didn't really plan for in what order I was gonna build this, but the nice thing about the way this game works logically is that things do build unto themselves. And into themselves, and for themselves, and by themselves. So if we take some of this glass, and we've got a shit ton of smelters, so let's smelt. As our drones are flying pretty well. Nope. Definitely wanted to delete you. Okay, I don't use my inventory hotkeys enough. Okay, Chris, sorry I just saw your message, but see you later as well. Have a good rest of your morning, day, night, whatever time it is for you. Alright, that's enough to get us started. Alright. Yeah, if I was a better streamer, I'd do a better job of actually looking and seeing what people said. So I'm sorry for that if I miss any time you talk. Okay, this we can't do this because that's not in there. Alright. So here's all the glass. And then we're going to put our glass line down here because we need to be sending out raw glass. But we also need to be making some other stuff. So we're going to take a tiny logistics... Well, we're going to do it like this. We're going to put some assemblers here. Like so. I think maybe 5 will be good enough. I guess we'll find out in a minute. I'm going to make this slightly expandable. We're going to put you over here. I'm going to put you over here. Put a tiny tower over here. And we're going to be demanding 2 things from this. We're going to be demanding... let's see. We make those in assemblers as well, so... Alright. We're going to be demanding this, and we're going to be supplying glass. We're going to be supplying that, and that'll be fine. Now these, okay, this is going to be a little silly, but to do it like I want to do it. And if we're going to be making enough solar sails here, maybe I am cutting into my ability to expand on this a little bit. Alright, if we put some roads up here. And we're just going to put some assemblers over here. We're going to totally BS this. I kind of built this wrong. Don't try this at home. I mean, it'll be fine, but it won't be pretty. So these are all going to be prisms. I think maybe 5 will be fine. We'll experiment first. And then from these, actually it's going to be this way. If we put you over here, and then we take this little supply chain, gonna make you a little dorky. People calling things dorky like there's something wrong with being a dork. It's 2021. And don't tell me crap about nerds winning or running the world or something. Alright. Okay, all we need to do here is just another baby tower. And this baby tower is going to make 2 little demands. Iron, but not a lot. And copper, but not a lot. We'll go ahead and demand. And maybe run some power into it as well. Do we not have copper plates available yet? That's weird. Feels like I had a whole stack of copper. Oh! Okay, we're actually using the copper. Well, if I need to bind some more copper, that's not a big deal. Alright, well. Anyway, what the plan here is pretty simple. Just iron, copper, two, 3, 4 should be enough. And then this is actually going all the way back to circuit boards. I love setting up the early game stuff to make the late game stuff work. Seems like I'm doing something that I'm supposed to, if that's the case. Alright, so if we have... Okay, that's already full then. That would be why. Alright. So run you down here. I'll be shocked if this isn't enough. So run you down there. Run you over here. There are mods for better working in the dark, but from here we should be able to supply plenty more of these things. So let's go ahead and do our glass station. Like I said, the goal is to overwhelm with glass production to the point where I can do my titanium glass as well. And this is a lot of glass production. Once again, it's supposed to be relaxing. We are in the nice dark of night. We have all these things winding up to start and build. But yeah, I'm going to have to mine some copper out somewhere. Just fine. There is some copper on this planet. I think this is the only planet with a sizable copper deposit. I did find some other planets on other systems that have more copper, so that may work. So for now, we're going to be filling up the jar of glass. Okay. Alright. And prisms only take glass. And weirdly, that tower still doesn't have power. I mean, it'll be fine. But right now, we are eating all of that, so... So there's our prisms. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still short on copper. Okay. It's a problem with the solution. Nice. There we go. Right on schedule. So those coppers go down there. This goes over here. Eventually the prism production gets so overwhelmed that we still have glass coming in through here. These should be supplying things everywhere. We're all good. So what this tells me is that we are going to need to get some copper plates somewhere. Alright, so another 15 degrees on the Dyson Sphere. In actual reasonable time. Alright, so that'll be good. This will all be slightly backlogged, so there is plenty of room for glass to go through. And then these should fly over here. And suddenly, look at that. We are back in business. And we're being self-sufficient for our making here. In fact, from the looks of it, we may be able to do even more than this. It depends. It's 20 per minute pretty consistently here. But the number one bottleneck is copper. We can smooth out some of the other production here later. So we need copper plates. But we have a copper deposit right here, so if I can just fix this, we can just ship this off right here. Alright, good. Once again, I don't have to do everything all at once. I just need to do enough. Because we've got a ton of copper. Boop. Yeah, once again, it's funny. One of the things I'm running out of is these little belts. That's just how that goes sometimes. All right, let me see if an email that just came in here, anything stupid. Nope. But this should be enough to at least supplement the copper plates that I'm making. And there's another copper vein not very far away that I can also make some good with. So I think that's going to be enough. And then we can just drop it right into this tower. Maybe. Possibly. Yes. Okay, good. Sorry, my nose has been itching so much past few days. I think it's spring is coming and old man nose hairs are getting more wiry. There's your old man Asher complaints for the day. Enjoy getting grossed out, because that's just what bodies do sometimes. Alright. So I love it. We have all these fast inserters, or sorters. Sorters. Whatever you call them. I'm getting my Factorio terminology confused, and I haven't even played Factorio in a very, very long time. So that'll all go in here. And this is all going to get immediately shipped. So that's good. I said it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to exist. How long for this one? 72 minutes. Probably closer to 2 hours. That's fine. So what have we got straightened out here? We've got a deuterium. We've gotten our other stuff. So we just need... Oh my god, more of these. Alright, now we do have two options. We could use a diamond, which takes organic crystals and titanium. We have a lot of those. I'm kind of stressing my Kazir crystal formations here to the point where I think I do actually want to take advantage of that. So let's go ahead and just set up another production line right here. And we're just going to do a little internal one. Nothing crazy. Because these things should all be going in just a moment. Like, we're supposed to be getting some sales over here. We have enough little space parts to get started. And we can always upscale our sales by quite a bit. So we're going to do a big tower. And if we're going to be building some titanium, all we're going to need to do is titanium plates, local demand, but not that many. Organic crystal, we're going to do remote demand, but only within the local system. And that'll be fine. And see, all these things are already coming over. We already have all this shit set up. So we don't need to worry too much about it. And then eventually we're going to be making titanium crystals that we will be supplying or remote storage. I'm not really asking for them anywhere else. And these are made in assemblers. So that's easy enough. How many of these do I want to make? Probably at least a few. So the organic crystals are going to take a minute to get here. But I do want a pretty good line because it's going to take a number of producers here. All right. But I know I have rare resources available from other planets and stuff, but since my production is so stable on my home planet, and I'm kind of burning through those right now, I'd rather just have my local production start with this. It seems a little backwards for all that like trip to a black hole and everything that I did, but it makes sense in my brain. And that way, we aren't stressing all of our systems to the nth degree. And I'm going to need to get some more belts here in just a minute, so that's going to be maybe a little bit of a problem. Alright. So you here. Clickety clickety. I still need to work on some other emotes. But I think I am definitely going to make a click emote just for how much people like how loud my mouse is. I could always set up put a donation in for a new mouse, a quiet mouse. No, we live by the click. There we go. There's our organic crystals. We have zillions of you stockpiled. Alright. So that'll be good. So we'll start storing you there, and we can expand that production out quite a bit. Because these make 15 per minute, which is not awesome. That's one reason these other crystals are nice, is that you don't have to make like a quintillion of these. But what I can also do is also feed from the other... feed from the other side. And make it work, but for now we're just trying to set up the bare bones basics. So, for this crap, we're going to need to make some titanium glass, which needs titanium and water. And glass. So, since we already got something here, let's just set this up down below. If we just do glass and just a little bit of a local demand, and we do remote storage, and we do water, and we can just keep all the water here, but remote demand for the water. Alright, where's our glass going right now is the first question, because we got a lot of crap to do with glass here. So this is supply. I guess it's because I didn't give you any drones. because all these towers are going to need drones to actually transport stuff. I probably didn't need to give you 50 drones, but congratulations, you just got 50 drones. Alright. So let's go ahead and set this down here. So, titanium, glass, and water. All right. Now, how we're going to do this is a little funky, but I want to be able to set it so that I have production on both sides here, which means this thing can be moved. That was only a temporary line for the beginnings of our power grid anyway. So we can set up one of you now. And one of you over here. Alright, so if we got all this going, and the water's in here, where can our dump-off tower be? That one's full. And I still find it interesting that that production just fell off so hard. But it looks like, since all these things are kind of full, we're just going to need to drop another baby tower. There's our little swarm again. So that's happy. Alright, so baby tower it is. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 8. And then we always want to misalign these. Talk about that again and again, but it makes it so that when you're using your little grabber arms, they work pretty well together. Alright. And I gotta step out for just a second, so if you're watching this right now on YouTube later, apologies for no cuts here. If you're watching on stream, I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, good stuff. So nothing broke while I was gone. Good. Let's go ahead and set these belts down here. So one of the issues that you have with a production line like this is how do you cross stuff over? But I have so many tiny towers that what I'm just going to do is have both of these set to grabbing the titanium glass when it's done. And we'll work from there. But obviously I got to get more belts to make that happen. So back to the home planet in just a second. But titanium glass is going to be resolved because we need that for this. And then we're going to need the crystals, which means we need a lot of hydrogen. We may actually need to set up a second dedicated tower just to bring in more hydrogen. But these produce slow and these produce slow. So this is going to be one of our bigger bottlenecks, which I never expected it to be as I was starting. Oh, not that. As I was starting this, but here you are. A game of bottlenecks. Alright, so that's fine. And that's fine. Like, part of the joy of this game is that you can do so much with just logistics towers. That you don't have to, like, burn yourself out doing other things. Okay, so we only have 37 belts left. Yeah, it's, I think it's time we expanded our production. I'm half curious if I need to actually start trying to build those belts here. Which would be a little irritating, but I can do it. Or I can just start using slower belts like everybody else and say, you know what, if we're going to do this efficiently, we don't need like the fastest belt to drop these things all the time. It's like, yes, we do. We made them for a reason. Okay, there's, I wonder if I could change the autosave frequency at some point, but for now we'll just do it like this. So how we do this once again is that we have it pull the long one from the gap in between, and then very suddenly you'll be able to pass through everything. It's not that complicated, but if you do it aligned self by self, you can't actually have these three pass over each other. Unless someone smarter than me says you can, and then it's like, well, I'm an idiot for never realizing that, but... Did I just do that twice? Some idiot. The idiot is me. Alright. Of course, I could have told you that. So one down, one up. Not like that. Clickety-click. It's like a big pen. All right. Almost there. Wait. Okay, that's actually feeding into the thing. Good. I was worried I missed. I always worried I misclicked because I start passing these onto the wrong belt, so... And then we can put one more assembler over here. Maybe. Huh. I guess that's how that works. Then we just do it like this. See, there we go. This is where it gets weird, and I'm like, why is this not working all of a sudden? But that's because I didn't follow my own golden rule. And paste. And drop off. So we got a bunch of titanium glass going. Good. Alright. How's our power? Still fine. How close are we to actually being able to shoot rockets at the star? Honestly, pretty close. We've just got to get the quantum chip stuff together, but we know how to do that because we already did that for green science. And even though the purple science is having some problems, green science is doing great. Although I should check and see why my production for some of those optical crystals is kind of getting tapped out. I'm guessing I just need to put more miners on places, but that's something I can fix later. Right now I have a goal, and that goal is to get the Dyson Sphere started before we, let's see, let's not miss our planet here, but before we end our research for Dyson Spheres. I think that's a solid goal. And we didn't pass our home planet, hooray. We're going to crash into it though, also hooray. So once again, this has a few in here, so we're not totally behind. And these eat through hydrogen like crazy. So that'll be good. So we need belts. Problem is, how are we doing on belts? Okay, we got enough. Alright. Now that's going to put a little more stress on the system. But it'll be okay. Anything else I need? How's our... I'm always curious, how's the science doing here? We're up to 50. That's improved. It's not great, but it's improved. As long as our green science and space warper production is not behind. Because I have a bunch of space warpers on hand, but it looks like, yeah, this tower's just full on. But see, this is our production. We have a bunch of glass, and then that glass is going to be fed these things. And then we have processors and plane filters that go make the other thing. And we have 10 more of these guns and more ready to go in. Although, once again, we're actually short on titanium alloy, which is a little bizarre, but our science is going, so I can worry about that problem later. Alright. We're good on snacks. Let's fly. Like, at least none of this takes too long. Who knew that faster than light travel would be so fast? Okay, where is, there we go. Now, I'm half curious as well. Maybe I should, check my other planets here if they, like, patched and changed where our stuff is coming from, but chances are I've actually filled up on my logistic stations. Because there was a time for a little while where my unipolar magnets were coming in from the black hole system, the sulfuric acid was coming in, and you could see all that production all around the place, but I have a feeling that because I haven't used them just yet, it's kind of gone full up. We'll have to see, though. Alright. So we still have a lot of sales. So that's good. We have a lot of glass production here. We've actually filled up our glass, so that's great. We're actually using most all of these solar sails. So that's great. So let's finish this out real quick. Okay, and all I'm doing here is leaving this for expansion for later. We're not going to be building here just yet. Because like I said, I have this straightened out. So baby tower, we don't have too many baby towers left. I should have picked up some baby towers. We did pick up a baby autosave though. Alright, so titanium glass wherever you are. There you are. Alright, supply. And titanium glass supply. And we actually can't reach the power from there, so let's go ahead and we're gonna need to set one of these here anyway. Just gotta check and see. So one of the differences during the day is I have more stuff coming in. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Because I do have some stuff I gotta do this afternoon, but it's not that time yet, which is one reason I wanted to block this off and into here. So good, we're finally sort of surplusing our storage there. We don't need a ton of drones. Like 12 and 15 is fine. Or whatever number of drones I put in there. So we're making a lot of titanium glass and we'll make more. So next step for this is We need to make these crystals. Alright. So, you're going to notice a theme here again. All we're going to do is just build another tower. And for this tower, I might as well use the big one again. Because we actually have big towers. I want to save the little towers for when I need them. We'll put this production down here. And that's amazing that that doesn't give power when it's right there. Alright, for building these crystals, it's going to be graphene, hydrogen, and these crap holes. So we'll local demand and just max this out. We'll local demand about 5,000. And we'll local demand about 5,000. And I'm very curious to see how this goes. Okay, so there's graphene, hydrogen, and crystals. Okay, why are we not doing anything here? I should already have a few of these in the bank. Like, did I just have a fever dream? Did I not build those? Are they not actually going back anywhere? So these are all feeding into here. Local supply for titanium crystal remote storage. So we do local demand. I guess once again it's because we don't actually have drones available. So let's fix that. Okay. Now the nice thing for this production line is that I'm going to be able to feed these back in. And one thing that I saw... Okay, did I misalign these? No. Need to fix that. One thing I could have done that I saw people do on Reddit that I haven't been very good about is actually building these to where I can put the tower in the middle. And then what I end up doing is passing 2 horizontal lines out and then feeding them back into the tower. That would be way smarter. Let's see if we can get a proof of concept here. So you go up here. You go over here. And this is one of the advantages of using the big towers, is that you have more slots. And unfortunately, we don't need to worry about the behavior where these guys would just fly off into oblivion. But Casimir crystals, we want to supply for you. So local supply, remote storage. I don't think I have anything else really bothering with that, but just in case I do. Cool. Alright, so ready for the click squad. Click. Click, 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 clack, clack, click. And I could have actually done this the other way for the titanium if I'd used a big tower, but I didn't, so this is fine. Okay, I did it again. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again. Then over here. Get a little easier if I just stand in the middle. Alright, so feeding these is supposed to be kind of a zen process. Your zen may vary. Okay. Let's just do it like this. It doesn't help that everything's bright and white and kind of glaring in my flashlight, so... How do I turn off the flashlight again? I don't remember. We'll just deal with it. Because it's not like this barren planet's the brightest place anyway. As you can see how far away we are from the star. It looks just like... Well, I mean, obviously it has a Dyson swarm around it right now. Soon to be Dyson Sphere. But this is pretty stable, but not very bright. Okay, let's do this correctly here and here. Okay. But yeah, from the looks of it, I am in fact going to need to get my hydrogen supply improved. So that's good to know. I mean, fortunately, we're producing a shit ton of hydrogen right now. Okay, we're actually moving hydrogen about as fast as we can. So we're keeping up. That's good, and we can expand this pretty much as far out into this area as we want to. Because we're going to be doing local supply for this, which means the last thing we need to do is plane filters and then quantum chips. So plane filters, 2 titanium glass, alright, what do we get in the way of our power supply? Why are you guys not powering? I guess you're not powering because we really don't need it. That's a fascinating conundrum. Alright. Let's see, I'll show you what I was talking about here. Like if we drop this down in the middle. And we're going to be making plane filters for like airplanes and stuff. So we do local demand for all these, because I don't think anything else that we need is going to use those. And what else do you use again? Something important. Titanium glass. Okay. So we do local demand for both of these. And we need just a few droney drones over here. Not too many. And we make these using assemblers as well. So once again, all I gotta do is just push this out, push this out. But if we do it on both sides, then once we do our lines here, we can just feed it right back in. Is it faster? I don't know. But it does help for like some longer term planning. So that's a bonus. Alright, so we'll put you right here. We'll put another one of you like over here. This is why we pre-build all these things, because we're going to be using a shit ton of them. Alright. But it does solve a little bit of the problem of building across from yourself here. Since this only uses 2 things, we don't have to worry as much about some of this movement. I am going to have to move that thing, though. So, bye-bye. Hello. And all you gotta do is feed back in. And all you have to do is feed back in. And all you have to do is feed back in, and then we got one more. So see, this is a sort of neater, more compact way to make this work. Is it better? I'm not 100% sure, but it's what we're doing. Just to show like some different concepts, I guess. Alright. And then click squad, activate in just a second. Alright. We have 300 some of these. My index finger's like, no, why you do this to me? We have to switch over to the middle finger in just a second. Like, it still takes just as many belts, and I have the fast belts. So I don't know if it's faster, but maybe it's easier to organize. That's probably a way to think about it. But these things produce really slow, so we're going to need to bump this up just a little bit. Alright, so... okay, you go there. Now, because we're only needing 2 ingredients, we don't need to misalign these. But it's fine either way. Because the important thing is just that we're building. The important thing is that we're having fun. No, the important thing is that we're building. Fun is secondary. Is this even fun? Yeah, I do think so. Alright, so 1. Can't do it that way. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. See, this is what it looks like if you have them aligned on the same area. Just have to keep track of it. Alright. Would help if I actually set the filters to be part of the supply chain here. So there's 46. Would actually help if I set these to spit them out. Alright, so after this, it's just because these only build at like 5 per minute. So we need a lot of those. But we have our filters, which will let us do quantum chips. We've got these things going. And look at this. I knew this day was coming. We are going to be flying through those crystals really, really fast. But we got a pretty good production here. But look, we're outpacing our draw for this. So what I'm going to do is set a local, well, we'll do 100. Can I get it from local demand? No. Okay, so we'll do remote demand, local supply. Local demand, no, local supply. And we'll put these up here so that we can actually end up, if we need to get more, especially more hydrogen, we can send some of these ships out. So local demand and remote demand. There we go. That's a lot better. Because when we expand this out, we're going to be flying through hydrogen like it's nothing at all. Okay. Next step here, we're actually building up chips pretty well. Which is good, because we're about to need to use a lot more of them. Alright. Put some production down here. That way we know we're not going to run out of space. So, too close to another logistics station, my foot. Alright. So if we're making these quantum chips, we need these, and these, and then these. And then I just want to make sure, does anything else in our Dyson Sphere... Yeah, so these are also going to use those chips. But from the looks of it, we're not quite running out. I just want to double check and check my work and make sure. So, like, how are we doing on chip storage here? We're doing okay. Like, I can definitely expand this now. Are we finally catching up to our power draw? Yes, we are. But that's only because stations are charging, so not too big of a deal. But yeah, we definitely want to have more of these parts. And I know I could be building the other thing first, but this will give me a really good sense of where we're at in terms of production. All right. Okay. So the build more stuff method, here we go. Because these things don't build at a super fast clip either. But one thing I got stuck on in my first time playing through here was just trying to pack everything onto my home planet instead of putting production for other things. But now we're going to be able to build 7.5 per minute, but we're going to build so many of these. I think the last time I played this, I only had like 2 of those ever making all at once, and that just doesn't work. Alright, so here's our big tower. And so, for the grand finale, we probably don't need plane filters for anything else, so just to be safe, just in case I'm wrong, we can always expand that later. So processors, plane filters, and we do need some droney drones here for sure. 21 should be fine. Local demand, local supply. And we'll do a remote storage just because we don't want these getting shipped. Like, we don't want these processors getting transported back to our home base. These are all going to be getting used here. So let's do it like this again. Okay, it never looks like that's where the line's supposed to go. Alright. Let me drop you back in here. Drop you back in here and do the same thing on the other side. And look at that, just all the production just popping out saying, here we are. What magical building adventure are we going to go on today? So nice when everything works out exactly like it's supposed to. Surely something is going to blow up in my face in just a minute. Like, if I wanted to make this building way more compact, I could. But I have multiple planets to build this on, so I'm not too concerned right now about running out of room. If I can produce enough of this shit here, because I'm not going for like a mega build where I'm putting out 1,000 things per second. Or per minute, or per whatever. Alright, let's actually have this doing the right thing. So, quantum chips. If you watched my last save, again, I know I've harped on this a lot, but maybe I should just name this video if you watched my last save. I was trying my best to produce these as hard as possible, but I never quite figured it out. So now we have this. Okay, for some reason that's getting hard to see, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like I said, our goal is to launch a shit ton of rockets. We'll see how that goes. Because we got quantum chips coming again. That's good. Alright, same crap over here. We're at 200 some sorters. We're at 200 some little pushy things. But we should be fine. Let's do it like this. So like I said, part of what the end game for this game looks like is just a matter of scale. How big are you going to do your build? And that's maybe my biggest leap from my first time playing to this to my second time to playing this, is that I have a better sense of how to organize things so that builds can be effective. And the secret is logistics towers. So we have those going. These do not produce very fast either. A little bit faster than the titanium glass, but not very fast. But technically, if we're doing 10 per minute, we're making 240 of these per minute. So that's great, as long as we can keep up that production. Right now, we're kind of outstripping our plane filter production, which is not surprising. That's one of the things I targeted as needing to expand. Right now we're doing good here. We're going to need to expand this a little bit too. This is doing enough. And titanium glass is doing okay. Let's see. Like, I didn't build all the shit near each other, so I gotta actually go hunting for it for a minute. How are we doing here? Yeah, we're low. We're actually making quite a bit of titanium glass. So all I need to do at this point is just expand out this part. Cool. So that'll be the first thing I expand. We need to double that. Look, the sun's trying to rise so hard. You can see it under the towers. There we go. It just looks like a really bright star from over here. So, last things last. Rockets. Now, if I remember right, I don't actually have my deuterium stuff super producing really hard just yet. Like, we have our power system over here. But once these things are through, they're kind of through. So, this is what I saved one of the baby towers for. And all we're going to do here is just, as this passes through, maybe, we are just going to take some drones again, and we are going to supply this. This is another thing that I know I'm going to need to expand this by a lot, because this production is only okay right now, and we're about to put it in much bigger demand. Like, it was able to backlog for about an hour. So any problems that we have with the backlog here are going to get revealed in just a second, which is fine. It was kind of a much sloppier build than over here. But how many deuterium logs do I have? 400 some. That's pretty good, especially for the fact that I'm still able to provide electricity for our planet, which means last thing is last. Put one of these down here. And then let's see, what do we need to build these? We need the parts, the rods, and the chips. So a little bit to power it with, a little bit to fly it, and a little bit to keep it together. So this flies it, this is what we slap up, and this is what powers it. And so we're going to put these ships over here, and we're going to set them to a remote supply. Or maybe we'll put it, yeah, we'll put it to remote supply. Alright. And look at this. Once again, we are running out of belts. But it's alright. Like I said, all we're doing is just a starter build. If you remember last time, and this is the last time I'm going to say, remember the last save until I say the next time I say it. The last time I did this playthrough here, I only had one of these successfully working at a time. So, once again, transport range of vessels is going to be short. We are going to need to drop some of these here, and we are going to need to drop some drones here. Alright, so local demand, local demand, local demand. We're just going to keep it up to 1,000. And we do need to misalign these because it's 3. So let's make sure we get that correct. Hopefully that can reach over. If it doesn't work, we'll make it work later. Right, a few more belts. Okay, why do I always build these so close? I'll just do it like this. Alright. So finally, tiny rockets to launch off into space. I'm pretty excited. This is the culmination of the improvements that I've been working on, and we're not 30 hours into the save, which is still a little bit of a long time to be waiting to build a Dyson Sphere. But once we start building it, we are really going to be able to build it. So we'll see how badly I tap out my resources here. Because pretty much the next stream of this is going to be troubleshooting and then expanding this build. Because one of our last goals is to build the Dyson Sphere in full. And it'll be funny if I end up having to improve my science production just to catch up with my hopes and aspirations in my Dyson Sphere produces first, but if I'm making a ton of power, then we'll be able to do it. So, and yeah, we're going to keep this to a local supply remote storage for now. Because I'm going to do something silly, but it's fine. What is this supposed to be? Okay, I don't know why I didn't have the parts spat out. Alright, here we go. Would you like some inserters for your inserters? Because I have inserters. Okay, ooh, oh no. It's hard to tell if that worked. The autosave is really just lagging my system here a little bit. And see, yeah, it's not feeding into there. It's actually trying to feed onto the other line. That's something where they have made a few updates, and most specifically today's update tries to actually lower the save game file size. But most of that has to do with the size of the file when you build a Dyson Sphere. So I haven't even scratched that surface yet. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and look at how many rockets we're actually building more than one rocket at a time. Yeah. There's not a lot of games that make you feel like you've really grown and got better. Some of them are just like, you get your stick skills and yeah, you're fine. You get some muscle memory, yeah, you're fine. But this one I feel like I've been it kind of feels a little bit like the LSAT before I took law school. I was always like good at the logic puzzles, but once I'd like figure out a puzzle and it would just click and I could go from, let me solve this to I can answer every single multiple choice question in 5 minutes. That's kind of what this feels like. So 10 minutes at a time. So we have rockets. We have 100 rockets. Good lord, how many are we building all at once? You know, let's make a group here. This group is literally going to be all these components. So we're making 15 per minute, and it's growing. So the deuterium rods, we're actually outproducing what we're consuming, which is shocking. Alright, so what does this group look like? We're actually not producing any right now. That's a little weird. Why are we not producing any frame components? Because I don't have any of these. And why don't I have any frame materials? Because that's a little bit of a problem. Okay, how do we build frame materials? Screw it. We're gonna build some frame materials locally real quick. And we got all of our other building local. Why not build the frame materials too? So big thingy. Slap some drones in it. So we're going to be putting frame materials in here for wherever it is. Then what do we need for frame materials? We need graphene, which we're making. And then silicon bars, which we have. Titanium alloy, which we have. And carbon nanotubes. All right. And to make carbon nanotubes, we're gonna need something else. And that's why I got this rare resource in here. This production should go pretty fast, so I'm not too concerned about not having a lot of room here. Okay, so if we get these, and those should be coming in pretty well. All right. How do we make these? This is going to be with the chemical plant, isn't it? Yeah. And then we're just going to take these back over here. Local supply and remote storage. That's a lot that we're getting. Okay, well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and we can always move this around. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Once again, I'm not sure if this is like the most efficient way to do it at all, but it's a good way to stay organized. That's a problem. All right. Really? Okay, replace you with you. That's fine. Nice thing is that technically those have a smaller footprint. So this will be good enough. All right. So we're really close to our rockets being able to launch into a Dyson Sphere, which is exciting. Because I was hoping to get a solid 2-hour stream, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do all of this in 2 hours. But we're not having to run around going, what am I doing? We're actually able to run around and say, this is exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, we're going to have more of these nanotubes than we can shake a stick at now. But we're not going to do a remote storage here. But these don't produce super fast, but they produce fast enough for our purposes right now. Alright, so local demand. Just going to demand all the things. Because if we need to remote supply these, we'll just remote supply from here. Some local demand, local demand. All right. Do we not have this going into a tower? Well, let's change that. We will use it. We will use a baby tower here. Wow. Collides with other objects, but this one doesn't, strangely. Oh, that would be why. Alright, so So supplying all the things. We have drones for it. So we can definitely up this production by a lot. Like, I'll be able to run this over when I have more bins. But for now, this is all we really need. So, frame material. Cool. I'm kind of running out of belts though, so we're not gonna do a giant line of frame material. This is just gonna be proof of concept because we do have a lot of frame material already. So 42 is a good number. $36 is fine. Alright, so give me that frame material. And give me just a little more power over here. But yeah, it's one of those things where just because I can build it on my home planet doesn't mean I have to. So this will all go this way, and this will be local supply. And we have a few drones here. So we'll let those bake. And hopefully we get some more frame material in just a little bit so we can get this production going again. Alright, good. Good, good. This is all here. How many rockets do I have? 600. Amazing. Or actually, our quantum chips are running a little low. Our deuterium bottles are running a little low. And that's because, once again, we're low on this pane glass. And what's the deuterium short on? I know it's just going to be short on a few things. Okay, right now it's actually short on just the amount of assemblers that we have. So I can always put some assemblers on the other side and do kind of the same thing here. And actually what I can do is run some of these and put some deuterium rods in there as well. So that we don't just have to have this be the production storage. So, good show. Let's fly over to where we want this shit to go. Alright, Capitari 2. That's 4.6 A or 4.46 AU away. This is the important part. This is the time where we're gonna have a launch party. Alright. So we all got all you guys here, all you guys ready to go. We are remote demanding these right now. But I'm going to do this just a little bit differently. I'm going to actually cut that off for a second. So right now, remote demand, we can have up to 10,000. We have a lot of mining going on here, local demand and remote supply. So we have a little bit of attempts at mining going here, just trying to make this planet do something. I do want to see how the optical crystals are going because this is our only vein. And it looks like we're not quite keeping up, but that's because of a power issue. How low are we on power right now? Yeah, so that's the problem, is that we don't have a ton of this, and we are at half power. So we need the Dyson Sphere to save us, but we're going to go ahead just while we're here and drop another miner, like right there. Maybe. And we have a few belts left. Not enough belts. Alright, so whatever. We'll keep that there for later. Just as good. Let's drop these onto here. Awkward, I know, but whatever. Alright. So that's going to be there, but it'll stop running. So, we need power. Right now, the power here is gross. These things are trying, but there's only so much from the swarm that I can grab. So let's go back to our Pew Pew planet. Wherever it may be. Right, all the way across the system. Like 4.5 AUs. This shit's just wide. Alright, so we're almost there, and we didn't fly past it this time. No. Okay. So this planet's pretty happy because we do have our power situation figured out. And this is all backed up to hell. Even now. That's curious, but I'm fine with it. So this is a dark but friendly production planet that is going to end up producing these things. So finally we can do, instead of remote storage, and we're not getting too many more in right now because we're running low on 2 sets of these supplies right here. So like I said, the next stream is going to be about fixing this, but we're going to end this stream with kind of a bang. And you can see these are already getting shipped off. Let's just ship all of them off here. So just like that. We have our Dyson Sphere that's about to do the thing. How many space warpers can I use in one go? Quite a bit. But we have our supply vessels. Like, look at how much of our economy is just going through here. And these vessels are moving pretty fast. So that's excellent. They can't warp in system like I can. So they're not crazy. Alright, so boop again. So here is our moment. We have 727 of these shuttles coming in. If we look at our Dyson Sphere plan right now, I can actually work on this layer. I'm actually pretty close to being done with this layer. I just need to put like some stuff up here, some stuff up there, and then we'll get the finishing touch here. But I'll save that for next time because right now I kind of want to see the end product here. So we have all these launch bays available. And we should have logistic ships coming shortly if they're not here right now. Okay, there's one, and there's a few others. Okay, here we are. But then once these go around, we should have a really nice cascade of launches. Like if I were really cool, I could just cut off all the power here. And have it so that it's kind of like pulling a string or a party popper, and suddenly we're doing that there. But instead, we have 556 to get started. Our local system production of this, one more time. I just want to make this clear here. Our local production of this is 21.6 per minute, even with how kneecap that is. That is like way better than the 1 per minute that I was producing previously. So without further ado, one thing I do need to keep in mind here is that we need to We're launching towards the Dyson Sphere. We're only doing shell 2. Shell 1 has not been made, so it's just all shell 2 at this point. I wish I could delete shell 2, but I don't know how. So if someone can tell me, that would be awesome. But right now we have 72 megawatts, and that's going to change here very shortly. So, time to fly. And look at this, our power draw is so, like, incredibly bad. I love it. But the nice thing is that this is expandable, and we'll be able to do even more of this in just a minute. Alright, so... when are you all going to launch? Very shortly. So there's the maiden voyage. There's 1, 2, and... look, here we go. Just so impressive. So it's like a happy little candle. There, just everything is going all around. And then once again, we're like, where's our power draw? But ideally, what this is going to end up doing is that we'll have some more power, like right here. So yeah, these only launch at a specific time. So like we have 20 in here right now. So these are going to go automatically. This means that I can have a lot more here. So let's see if I can get like a good angle right here with the star in place. There we go. That's the shot we want. All right. Just gotta enjoy this, man. Lots of screenshots. All right. One of those should work. But yeah, that's the idea. So pretty cool. And then suddenly if we look, if we set ourselves down here for a second, what we have going on is that we're starting to build some frames. And all this means is that I can have a lot more launchers going. So we have a lot of rockets flying into here, which is very exciting. And eventually it's going to try to look like some organized chaos. I don't remember how I slow down. It's one of these buttons. D. Okay. Alright, so can we see our frame being built yet is one of the questions. We have like one chunk of frame so far. But yeah, here is the very beginning of the construction of our very own scratch-made Dyson Sphere. Less than 30 minutes, less than 30 hours of streaming. And now all I need to do is to just make this way bigger. We have selected a tiny star to do this with, but it's still gonna do its best to make power. And then the really nice part is that because of the angle that we've had this built, what should end up happening, see, we can see some of the frames over here already starting to do their thing, which once again, I just love how this is all rendered. Let's decelerate here a little more. Like, all of these are here, and now they're starting to pull in the other stuff. Like, if we just stop right here, these are going to start gobbling up and start building our actual Dyson sphere, which, once again, we will have still light coming through the middle so that our planets don't actually turn to mush or like all frozen areas. That doesn't happen in this game, but I'm just trying to go from the real original logistical thing. But the other thing that means is that we can actually do some more vertical launching silos. So I'm going to end the video with that. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go ahead and make some more vertical launch silos. And eventually, as more of these things come up, as you can see, there goes all of our rockets. They're just going to go in a nice little row. Instead of launching all at once, they're just going to go in a nice steady stream. But I'm going to make another ring of these launchers because I did automate building these. So I'm going to have a lot. But yeah, the build more ship method, it works. And now we're going to have a lot of power here eventually. And hopefully that power draw is going to help this do good things, because right now we're a little starved for power. We're at 20% power. Okay, so where does this line end? It ends right here. Alright. One thing I want to do is, can I actually fit a splitter right here? Because that would be amazing if I could. It's going to let me do it. What madness is this? Alright, I need more belts anyway. So that'll be something that I do for next time. But what we are going to do eventually is to set more of these things down here. Now, I could have it set to where we have all kinds of crazy garbage going on, like all around the system, and like catty corner these and put them kind of forwards, backwards, upside down. Like, we can flip them like this. And maybe that is the right thing to do, but we still need to have like an exit area. So maybe if we do it like this and kind of set it on this line, that'll be fine. I'm gonna have to come back here in the next stream and sort this out, but like I said, we're really close. Pretty much from here on out, it's just gonna be a matter of time for how much we end up doing. But I am gonna go and I guess off camera I'm gonna go pick up some more belts just to see. It won't take me too long to do that, and then we can go back here and start again. But this is Asher with Dyson Sphere Program, and we are actually building the sphere in earnest. And I could possibly even make this a little bit crazier, and maybe we will. Maybe this will be like our whole launch area. But remember when I joked and said there's no way I'm going to need this many vertical launching stations? Once again, it's all a matter of how fast I want to build the Dyson Sphere. And right now, our Dyson Sphere is generating 5.4 megawatts, even from just those nodes there. The Dyson Swarm is generating 82, but that's going to change because we have these frames building. We'll go over building the next frames next time. But for now, this is Asher, and progress is progress. And pretty soon, we're going to have something really nice to look up at in the sky, even from this far away. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll do this again soon. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for sticking through here. If you're watching on Twitch, by all means feel free to follow if you want to do more. I still need to make the clicky emote for anybody who wants to accumulate channel points, but that day will come when it comes. That's it for now, and we'll do this again soon. Maybe at night, maybe during the day. Also going to stream some more Loop Hero, some more Curse of the Dead Gods, maybe even some more Dawn of the Mexica. Just really good time for lots of stuff. Oh, we can see a frame there. That's awesome. But yeah, that's all for now. You all have a good rest of the day, rest of the night, whatever time you're watching, and take care of yourselves.